Let's bring in Tobias Ellwood, the Conservative MP and chair of the Defence Select Committee. Tobias, you've actually worked with Harry on the Invictus Games, which again is an incredibly admirable thing, the Invictus Games, and I've always completely supported it. But when he said this stuff about the Taliban, you can see from the reaction already around the Muslim world, the way it's been now latched onto by a lot of Islamic fundamentalists and preachers and so on. This is going to potentially cause huge security problems, not least, I would think, at an event like the Invictus Games.
Yeah, I think you're right. Firstly, I just want to stress the important relationship there is between our monarchy. It goes back millennia, in fact. We saw that at the funeral for the Queen, and indeed we'll see that in the coronation, for the King coming up. That's a powerful bond between all of our armed forces, the three services. And I pay tribute to anybody, your brother and so forth, Ben, who's there in the studio with you, anybody that steps forward to represent their country and wear the uniform. That includes Prince Harry. He did 2 tours of Afghanistan. And you're right, this huge legacy, the big thing that he created, the Invictus Games, has been quite incredible. But I think he was ill-advised to talk about a kill count. We argue that we have the most professional armed forces in the world. That's absolutely right. That's not just because of our combat effectiveness. It's also how we conduct ourselves in the aftermath of battle, following the Geneva Conventions, following the rules of engagements, how we deal with the prisoners of war, how we deal with the injured who were actually served in Camp Bastion as well, in the hospital there, next to the British comrades, and indeed how we deal with the dead as well. We don't go and join the armed forces to kill people. We go there to defend. We go there to uphold, democracy and the rule of law. A byproduct of that is the occasional necessity use of lethal force. So, for the reasons as you've pointed out, I think this has caused difficulties, not least where we've left Afghanistan. We've ceded this back to the very people we went into to defeat, the Taliban themselves. We have 40 million Afghans that we still need to have a relationship with. We've got the Halo Trust, for example, a fantastic charity that's doing mine clearance there. All these organisations still have to work, have a relationship with the Taliban. My worry is that extremists will take...
I would say that what he's said here and the way he's expressed himself, calling them chess pieces, saying he killed 25 and so on, as a senior member of the royal family, which he remains, I think that has... the irony of this, he has gone on about security and protection for his family, never mind anybody else, for the last 2 years, arguing he should have more protection. How does this kind of statement in a book do anything but put his own family at more risk? It also puts the royal family in totality, I would say, at more risk from any lunatic fundamentalist who wants to exact some kind of revenge for what he's said. The Invictus Games and events like it might become targets. His own military, he might still have friends in the military. They are now walking around with a bigger target on their back because a senior member of the royal family has come out boasting about killing the Taliban and how many he killed and dehumanised them as chess pieces.
Yeah. I think it would be wise for Prince Harry to provide clarification as to what he meant there. If you read the wider passage, it's the only bit of the book that I've read. He clearly understands what his mission was, the bigger picture as well, what he was fighting for. But those particular lines, I understand it was written, the book, by a ghostwriter, it was put in there to sensationalize. And as you've articulated, this can have serious ramifications, not least for the Invictus Games, which I stress. It was a pleasure to work with Prince Harry in Toronto and indeed in Sydney, an important aspect of rehabilitation of those who have served, are serving, but have been injured or somehow need to be rehabilitated. I hope that continues. I hope this will not affect that important creation that Prince Harry can be very proud of.
Tobias Ellwood, thank you very much.